Hello everyone, in this video I will gonna do a presentation and explanation about British history of literature. But I will introduce myself first. My name is Muhamad Zidan, and this video will be gonna 4 point of this video. The first will be the Elizabeth I, and the second will be the Elizabethan era, and the third is Elizabethan literature, and last but not least is I'm gonna do explanation about William Shakespeare biography. And without any further ado, let's do it. And for the first is the Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I was a queen of England and Ireland from 17 November 1558 until her death in 1603. Elizabeth I was born in 7 September 1533, and Elizabeth was the last monarchy of the House of Tudor and is sometimes referred to as the Virgin Queen. And Elizabeth was the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, his second wife, who was executed when Elizabeth was 2 years old, which is so tragic. Anne's marriage to Henry was annulled, and Elizabeth was for a time declared illegitimate. And additionally, Elizabeth was ever imprisoned for nearly a year on suspicion of supporting Protestant rebels. And upon her half-sister death in 1558, Elizabeth succeeded to the throne and set out to rule by good counsel. She depended heavily on a group of trusted advisors led by William Cecil. She created Baron Burghley. One of her first actions as queen was the establishment of an English Protestant church, of which she became the supreme governor. It was the first action as a queen, as a queen. And this Elizabethan religious settlement was to evolve into the Church of England. It was expected that Elizabeth would marry and produce an heir. However, despite numerous courtships, she never did. She was eventually succeeded by her first cousin, twice removed, James IV, if I'm not wrong, of Scotland. This laid the foundation for the Kingdom of Great Britain. And for the second point of this video, the second is the Elizabethan era. It between 1558 until 1603. It's followed the Elizabeth I leadership period. The Elizabethan era is an epoch in the Tudor period of the history of England during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 until 1603. Historians often depict it as the golden age in English history. The Elizabethan age contrasts sharply with the previous and following reigns. It was a brief period of internal peace between the Wars of the Roses in the previous century, in the English Reformation, and the religious battle between Protestant and Catholics prior to Elizabeth's reign. And then the later conflict of the English Civil War and the ongoing political battles between Parliament and the monarchy that engulfed the remainder of the 17th century. and the one great rival was Habsburg Spain, but was eventually defeated. The defeat of the Spanish Armada established the Reformation as a fact in England, and at the same time united all Englishmen in a magnificent national enthusiasm. The war ended with the Treaty of London the year following Elizabeth's death. It is partly from this new freedom that the age of Elizabeth received its great literary stimulus. And for the third point of this video, I'm gonna explain about Elizabethan literature. Elizabethan literature refers to bodies of work produced during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, which is leadership era 1558 until 1603, and is one of the most splendid ages of English literature. In addition to drama and the theater, it saw a flowering poetry with new forms like the sonnet, the Spenserian stanza, and dramatic blank verse, as well as prose, including historical chronicles, pamphlets, and the first English novels. Major writers include William Shakespeare, Edmund Spenser, Christopher Marlowe, Richard Hooker, Ben Jonson, Philip Sidney, and Thomas Keats. English playwrights combined the influence of the medieval theater with the Renaissance discovery of the Roman dramatists, Seneca for tragedy, and Plautus and Terence for comedy. Last but not least, I'm gonna explain William Shakespeare biography. William Shakespeare was born in April 1564 and died in 23 April 1616. And he was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He is regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. And he also often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon, or simply the Bard. And his extant works, including collaborations, consist of some 39 plays, 144 sonnets, 3 long narrative poems, and a few other verses. Some of uncertain authorship, his plays have been translated into a very major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. Shakespeare was born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. At the age of 18, he married with Anne Hathaway, with whom he had 3 children, and he also a widow. And the children's name is Susanna, and twins Hammett and Judith. Sometime between 1585 and 1592, he began a successful career in London as an actor, writer, and part owner of playing company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later known as the King's Men. Oh, the King's Men. Okay, I know that. At age of 49, around 60-30, he appears to have retired to Stratford, where he died 3 years later. Shakespeare produced most of his known works between 1589 and 1630. His early plays were primarily comedies and histories and are regarded as some of the best works produced in these genres. And then he wrote mainly tragedies until 1660. Among them is Hamlet. I know this story. This story is very great, and I also recommend you to read or watch the Hamlet on YouTube. And after that, Romeo and Juliet is also fantastic, and this is a good story. And Othello in my campus, my cutting is present Othello as the theater show of their drama. And Macbeth also, I know this story. I'll consider it to be among the finest works in the English language. And this is the William Shakespeare's works. There's a Romeo and Juliet on the first, and the second, Much Ado About Nothing, and then Julius Caesar, Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, Sonnets, The Tempest, Othello, and Midsummer Night's Dream. And this is the William Shakespeare face, and my opinion, he's a fine looking person, and is as a melancholic, I think. His art is very good. This is the Queen Elizabeth I. This is her, she in pain. She beautiful, yes. And this is the condition and the situation of the Elizabethan era around 1558 between until 1603. And that is all about my video. I hope you enjoy my video, and if you like it, hope you give me a like and share and subscribe. And after that, I want to say have a great day, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.